says, Greg, he says, every single house has a story. There's a story of why that person is living in that house, okay? For some reason, I was like, I got to listen to him right now. And he basically said, either A, that person has an amazing story of sacrifice, which is a reason why they were able to live in that house, or B, they are reaping the fruits of someone in their prior generation that had sacrificed.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you, as always, for joining me, my friends. Today, you're probably listening to this after Memorial Day of 2025, but I'm actually doing this podcast episode on Memorial Day, and that's what I want this episode to be about. I want this episode to be about your story of sacrifice, because every single one of us, we have a story of sacrifice. Either A, we have sacrificed and done certain things so that either us, our audiences, our family, our future family can enjoy the fruits of our labor and the fruits of our sacrifice, or somebody has sacrificed for you to have the opportunities that you have today. And today, we as a country here in the United States, for those of you that are listening abroad, today is a day in the United States that we remember. I'm not going to say we celebrate, but we do celebrate our freedoms. But today in particular, we're remembering the people that sacrifice their lives so that we can actually have the opportunities that we have today. Now, I want to tell you something. I am not from this country. I am a proud American citizen, but I know this. Some of you have never been outside of America. And I know that what we have in America, I'm not saying America's the greatest country. I mean, I don't know that because I haven't been to every country. But what I can say is that I'm a Jamaican boy turned Jamaican man that was able to come to this country. And because of the opportunities that are available to me today in 2025, I've been able to create some really cool things and solve lots of problems for people and have a lot of my problems solved. And basically have been able to be a huge cornerstone in my family of changing the trajectory of certain things that we never had before in the Todd lineage. And I would not have had that without the sacrifice of soldiers, of men and women who basically said, I'm willing to die for the cause. They didn't necessarily die for Greg Todd, but they died for the cause that has benefited Greg Todd today and has probably benefited you as well. Wouldn't you agree? And so today we remember those people. Now, I want to show you something. So right now, you're listening to the podcast probably on Apple, Spotify, or whatever. I'm actually doing a video version of this right now. And I'm currently, if you go on YouTube, you'll see this. But currently, I'm looking at houses that are on the other side of the bay of my house. Okay, so my house is on the Clearwater Bay. And I'm had the camera turned to these houses. Now, I want to tell you a story, okay? This is when I had just gotten this boat that we're looking at right now. I just gotten this boat. I got the boat, and because I was a new boater, they were supposed to basically give me kind of like a test drive, not just a test drive, but like orientation on how to operate the boat. And I needed it, right? Because I wasn't some big time boater all my life and whatnot. I honestly just driven a boat like twice before. So I definitely needed it. And everything got messed up at the place that I bought the boat at, and the owner happened to be there that day. And when he found out my experience, he was like, I'm taking you out personally. Okay. And this guy lives on the other side of the Clearwater Bay, beautiful home. He actually is the owner of a jet company and the owner of a tractor trailer company as well. And he took me out. Okay. He took me out. He actually took me out from my house, and he stayed out with me and my buddy Larry. He stayed out with us for about 2.5, 3 hours. Now, he's a little arrogant. If you're listening to the podcast, hey, I got mad love for you, and I appreciate everything you did for me today. But, he's kind of cocky. But you know what he did for me that day? Not only did he teach me the ins and outs of the water and where the water is shallow and this and that and all the things I need to do and how to dock the boat and how to park the boat and all the other stuff, but while we were out, he basically started showing me all the different houses. And he basically said this to me. And by the way, that guy is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, at least net worth. I don't, I just want to let you know, like, the guy's been around, okay? But he said this to me, and I'll never forget this. He says, Greg, he says, every single house has a story. There's a story of why that person is living in that house, okay? For some reason, I was like, I got to listen to him right now. And he basically said, either A, that person has an amazing story of sacrifice, which is a reason why they're able to live in that house, or B, they are reaping the fruits of someone in their prior generation that had sacrificed. And I was like, wow, you're right. And then he didn't just say that, but he went on to now tell me that person is such and such, that person is such and such. Their parents started the first this, their parents did this, their dad died in World War II, this and that, this happened. Then they were able to start a little mom and pop grocery shop, and that grocery shop now has 75 locations, okay. There was a story behind every single home. And every single story that man told me that day over those 2-ish, 3 hours, whatever, that we were out, was a story of sacrifice. So here we are today on Memorial Day, 2025. And I want you to remember that everything that you have, every opportunity you have right now is because of someone else's sacrifice. Let's not take that for granted. And I truly believe for those fallen soldiers, those people that died for our freedoms and the opportunities that we have right now, I believe the best gift that me and you can give them is by just taking advantage of the opportunities that we have that they fought for. That's it. I truly believe if they could have one request of us, I think being grateful and saying thank you, and just celebrating it. Okay, maybe it's Tuesday to listen to this, or Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday, but just pausing the podcast, or when this podcast is over, just saying, you know what, Lord, thank you for these amazing people. Thank you. If you know someone that has a family member that they've lost because they were fighting for what it is that you and I have today, thanking that family and giving them peace on days like today, because this really is more of a somber day. I know, we're all focused on grilling and this and that, and we got a day off, but really this is a day where it's like, it's time for us to be sober and be grateful and thankful, and to just kind of give our flowers to those that have sacrificed so much for us. There's families that have a hole in their heart because they have a family member that has sacrificed for not just them, but for us. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking about today. Whenever you see someone that has something or something that you desire, instead of coveting it, maybe you can ask, I wonder what their story is. And I wonder what their sacrifice story is. And then maybe you can ask yourself, would I be willing to do that? Just something to think about. Anyways, I hope this episode serves you. I hope it helps you. And happy Memorial Day. And just pause and reflect for the people that have sacrificed so much to give you the opportunities that you have today. Make those opportunities count. Until next time.